Okay, stop what you're doing and have a look at this, because this is a game changer for sim racing. You have to be aware of this wheel no matter which brand you're with, because this wheel, they say, costs just $399 or £308. Now that, I don't think that's entirely really true, for me anyway as a Brit, because that excludes sales tax. So for me, this is about £360 to buy, but that is still absolutely insane. Like £360 for this, just look at it, and there's stuff you can't even see on the wheel and in the wheel that I'm going to tell you about in this video. Obviously, I'm going to give you a completely honest rundown of this wheel, all the pros and cons, but the summary is you need to be aware of it, because no matter what brand you're with, they're going to have to compete with this wheel with functionality and price point. Otherwise, Conspit here are going to eat their lunch. So, firstly, there's obviously loads of buttons. You're not going to be short of buttons. So we're talking like a budget mid-range wheel, like accessible wheel. You've got all the buttons. I'll show you what they do. This one cycles through the dash. Yes, there's a dash on it. You know, this is potentially the Simagic GT Neo killer, by the way. And that's before I even get onto, I bought here my beloved Moser KS rim that I used for absolutely ages, even fixing it when I had a bit of an issue. Like, that looks old school now compared to this. So that one goes through the dash. I've mapped these ones to change my field of view and change my driver kind of height. You shouldn't need to change that a lot in sim racing, but it's nice to have them mapped, so I've got that if needed. I've also got look at the bottom right, my brake bias there, fully on the encoder, and I've got the traction control as well, fully on the encoder there. And I've got my look left, look right, and I've got other iRacing-esque stuff mapped as well. Now I want to show you a little bit of a party trick, because this is where things start to get very interesting on this wheel. So this middle encoder here, you can see it's got my name there, and here it says hello. Basically, that every position, all 12 positions, give you a completely different profile, at least for these two buttons here. So at least for these two, it gives you a different profile. So what that means is, if you're wondering why that's important, you can have a profile that's purely for controlling your PC volume or something. You can have a profile that's purely for controlling Spotify, next track, volume up and down. You can have a profile that's purely for controlling YouTube, if you've got YouTube on the side as you're sim racing. You can have a profile that's purely for doing OBS, to start and stop recording. Like, you can go through all these profiles. Now, I saw something like this with Bavarian Simtech when I interviewed the guys at Bavarian Simtech, who are two really interesting guys, father and son company out of Germany, like absolute geniuses. They had something similar that I think they call Alpha Tech or something. That was a very similar concept. So it looks like Conspit have been inspired by that maybe, and it's a who's who. The form factor of the wheel looks similar to the GT Neo, the Simagic GT Neo. Now you might be wondering what's going on at Simagic. Well, the guy who I understand was responsible for a lot of Simagic success, Tyler Wang, he left Simagic, and where do you think he went? He's gone to Conspit, and I think this might be the first Conspit product that really has his DNA. So if you've loved Simagic products, apparently, I don't know the details of what happened, but basically the guy who was really responsible for all the great ingenuity has come to Conspit, and then you see this coming out for 300, and I'm not going to say 308 because I'm paying VAT, so £360 with a screen is absolutely mad. Now we also have, believe it or not, buttons on the back, which I've mapped to sorry and thanks. So there are damn buttons on the back of the wheel as well, which is something all the Formula One drivers I speak to, all the racing drivers, they all like the buttons on the back. Kevin Magnussen, really big fan of the buttons on the back. So we've got buttons on the back, we've got all these encoders, all these rotaries, all these buttons. Obviously the whole damn funky black box thing is just on my left stick. I haven't even mapped the right stick to anything. I've got a whole funky free. They're not just giving us one funky switch, they're giving us both. So at the moment, you can just see, functionality-wise, out of the box, there is a huge amount here. It's like Christmas. It's a Christmas present. So many things to work out and map. We've got the clutch paddles at the back as well, carbon shifters. Now, they say this is actually molded carbon. I don't believe them. Surely it can't be molded carbon, Like I've been to the factory where they make carbon fiber wheels. Just totally check out that video if you haven't seen it. It's one of the best videos in sim racing. Like obviously I'm biased, but it's just so interesting. But on the face of it, this does look like carbon fiber. So I'm not sure what process they've been able to do and keep the cost down, but it looks like carbon fiber, and they say it's actually molded carbon fiber, which is interesting because I've seen how you do apply carbon fiber. The grips seem really, really, really good. The grips seem really good. They have this kind of like powdered finish to them. They just seem, the shape is obviously amazing, but the finish seems good. And look at the small details here, like the chamfering as it goes into this dial to make it even easier to pick out. It's like so many small details. Like I said, the who's who of sim racing. They've seemed to have covered a lot of the bases if it holds up reliability wise, which we're going to get into the video. But let me show you the dashes here. This does work with SimHub as well. There's a switch you can do between SimHub. I did connect it to SimHub. I was able to change the colors of the lights, but for some reason I wasn't able to get the rev bar working. But this is kind of pre-release firmware, I understand it. Also, I wasn't able to change any dashes in SimHub, but I imagine with the SimHub connection, if dashes appear, you'll just be able to load them through SimHub, which is great. You're not limited to what Conspit are able to do. But you see the dashes here. I mean, it makes you realize you don't necessarily need a bigger dash. If you look at these ones here, like what I'm getting, I mean, this one, I've got the RPM, I've got the gear number, I've got my speed, I've got my lap, I've got fuel, which isn't working here, I've got my lap time, I've got a time difference that's not working here, and I've got a fastest lap. So I've got a load of information there, which is absolutely great. This one, I've got a big gear number in contrast, which is great. So I can really see that as I'm maybe going through a corner. Got my speed as well, got my last lap as well, that's fantastic. And I've got my brake bias that you can see is changing as I go through the rotary, that's fantastic. This next one, we've got my ABS, which I didn't change, but we've got my TC, you can see that, so I didn't map. My TC is changing there. I've got my gear number, I've got my tyre pressures, which isn't going to be that helpful in iRacing, but in other sims. Keep going through. This one is just a big gear number. Oh, that moved, that's interesting. Maybe it's got a bit of a ghost thing. Yeah, well, that's it. So here we go. So reliability, this is going to be the question mark over this wheel. Have Conspit been in the market long enough for everyone to, know that they have good reliability? No, absolutely not, in my opinion. The reliability still needs to prove itself. You can't kind of get reliability trust out the box. You can see there it was, for some reason, moving off the screen. I'm not sure why. That's not what I wanted. But you can see there, even the ABS flashing through that dial there is really interesting. I wonder if the TC flashes as well. It doesn't seem to be a TC flashing, but there's obviously some functionality to get your ABS flashing. So I like this dial. And then we go back to the original one. I just want to talk about a few competitor wheels here. So I have brought some special ones. The Moser KS wheel, I believe that's normally about £300, including sales tax. And I have an affiliate link for this wheel, and I really like this wheel. I've used it a lot. I even repaired it when I had an issue with the quick release coming loose. I just don't. This looks old school compared to the Conspit 300 GT. I actually have here Max Verstappen's wheel. This is Max Verstappen's actual wheel. Okay. This wheel is well over £1,000. It's from iRacing. It's billet aluminium. It's an incredible wheel. Like so many small details, 2 funky switches. Like I said, billet is just phenomenal wheel, like absolutely phenomenal. But the reality is, this is £360. You're 80% of the way there. I'm not going to say this wheel is better than the Asher. The Asher for me is better than this wheel, like 100%. The Asher just one of my favorite. I just love the Asher wheels, and I'm lucky to try a lot of high quality wheels. But for £360, oh my goodness! I was just reviewing the Porsche Vision GT wheel from Fanatec. That's about £360, isn't it? I mean, you haven't got a meaningful screen on that. You've got a very faint OLED. You haven't. I mean, these are magnetic hall shifters. Proper carbon fiber. That one doesn't have clutch paddles. It doesn't have the nice rotaries like this. It has one funky switch that, to be honest, like I said in my review, I think is a weak point of that wheel. because the funky switch is so weirdly designed. It's like a saucer. You've got buttons up here on it, but you don't have buttons on the back. You know, yes, you got a big Porsche logo in the middle. But that, you know, and this form factor is just so good. In fact, what we'll do is we'll jump into a race while I'm chatting. So we'll go straight into the race here. I spent so much of my sim racing time on my Fanatec McLaren GT3 V2 wheel, which is such a good wheel. Like, I absolutely love that wheel. But this, like, when I started sim racing on my Thrustmaster T80 T150, something like this was just not available. Like, this is absolutely unbelievable quality, out of the box anyway. We'll have to see about the reliability. So we're going to go onto the grid here. Let's see what it's going to be like in a race situation. Is it going to hold up? But I'll take it off the... I'm not a massive fan of the Conspit quick release. I think they could have a nicer version. But I'll take it off when I either win this race or crash. But let's see what it's like now in a race environment. You know, obviously your hands just fit so nicely in here. You know, I could use a clutch paddle to get a nicer start. The clutch paddle's available. I personally don't really use clutch paddles, so that doesn't bother me. You know, the fact that the Fanatec doesn't have them actually doesn't bother me. At the moment, if you want to know, the wheel I'm really using is the Moser Lamborghini Essenza wheel. I'm actually really enjoying using that wheel off stream, off camera. That's my go-to wheel at the moment when I'm just chilling. That is absolutely... He's clearly turned in on us there. But yeah, if I need to, I want to see actually that yellow flag, because there was one of these screens had a yellow flag, had a flag icon. Does it work? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. You see this green flag in the bottom right, unless it just went green. But that would be really cool. Obviously, I think in SimHub you can do things like you can all flash yellow when there's a yellow flag and things like that, and then flash green. That's what SimHub gives you. I'm not a SimHub nerd. I don't pretend to be. I just know the people at SimHub and Lovely Dashboard are doing incredible things. I don't understand how Conspit have got this wheel out for this price. Like, it actually doesn't add up for me. Like, I genuinely, let me know in the comments if you have an idea, but I don't know how they've done this. I don't know if they're going to be losing money on every wheel. I hope there's enough stock, you know, and it's not some kind of like phantom product that theoretically exists, or there's some scalping. There won't be scalping, but it's like actually sells for hire. If this is going to sell at the stated price, like I said at the beginning of this video, you know, every brand has to take note, because there are brands selling wheels in this price range that are nowhere near as functional as this, or have as many buttons and dials and encoders and the right form factor. Now, the reliability, that's going to be a massive question. Do you trust Conspit? Is that a brand that has recognition for you at the moment? Does Tyler Wang have a job to do in kind of like saying, look, I've gone to Conspit, you can trust me that I'm going to maintain all the processes? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull to side here. I'm going to take out the wheel. You can see the ABS there, I think, flickering. So, like I said, I'm not a massive fan of the Conspit quick release, actually. It looks a bit utilitarian, but this is the wheel. Like, I mean, carbon fiber molding, they say on the front. It looks like carbon fiber to me. It's got the kind of shaping that I really like on the 290 GP, although I wish this button was angled, because the 290 GP has really nice angled buttons. On the back, we've got the buttons on the back, magnetic hall shifters, clutch paddles as well, really nice grips, £360. This might be the biggest bargain in sim racing. I mean, the Moser, I've said on this channel, the Moser KS makes the Fanatec McLaren GT3 look old generation. When I reviewed this about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I don't know, I said it makes the Fanatec look old generation. This makes, and I've got an affiliate link for the Moser. Like, I might have a discount link for the Moser. I'll ask Conspit about a discount link for the 300 GT. But, I mean, this makes the KS look old-fashioned. Absolutely insane. This is the form factor of the GT wheels. Let me know what you think completely honestly in the comments. Do you have any thoughts about it? Anything you've seen that you're not a fan of? How do you think they got to the price? Are you tempted? Is there more you want to know about Conspit? then let me know, because I would love to do more reviewing of this wheel. This is all kind of pre-release. But yeah, this is absolutely a game changer for sim racing. So make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.